Hi, this is Damon Pistolka, host of the Faces of Business podcast, where we talk to interesting people about life and business. We cover their backgrounds, obstacles they've encountered, and find out what drives them. Along the way, our guests share nuggets you can use to drive your success. Reach me directly, DAMON at exityourway.us, or check out our website, exityourway.us, for more information. I hope you enjoy our show. All right. Thank you for joining us on the Exit Your Way Faces of Business. With me today, I've got Jaris Tucker. Jaris, wonderful seeing you today.
Thank you, Damon. Like we've been hanging out for a while now lately, huh?
Yeah. It's good, man. I'm so glad to have you here. I wanted to really be able to share with other people today, have you share a little bit more about yourself, because I think it's positive. I think it's really, really something that people should be thinking about. Yeah. So, Jaris, tell us a little bit about your background.
A little bit about my background. I have 9 brothers and sisters. We all grew up fairly poor, now that I really think about it. And coming up like that with a lot of brothers and sisters, not having a lot, showed me how to be happy at an early stage. So I learned how to be okay and content with little or having nothing. And the upbringing I always had, my mother always gave her credit. She raised us to be respectful, to be mannerable. And I didn't know it at that time, but my upbringing in my home, and when I started working, I was actually being molded to be somebody that has a big ball of light, big ball of joy, big ball of positiveness.
Yeah.
But I didn't get comfortable with that until I got older, because, coming up like that, and, we were raised in the street life somewhat. So you didn't know kindness was a strength. You thought, you didn't want to show kindness. You want to try to have a tough guy macho role. So me coming up that way actually paved the way for the person that you're talking to now.
That's what I love about you, man. You are a shining example of how your mind can lead you forward if you allow it to.
Yes, sir.
And you have something on your profile on LinkedIn that we just talked about beforehand. It talks about how becoming comfortable in your own skin allows you to become happier, which then allows you to become successful. What do you mean by that? Because I think it's a situation that a lot of people struggle with, quite honestly.
Yeah, a lot of people struggle with it. I struggle with it because I was living my life based on how other people wanted me to live, or how I thought other people wanted me to live. So I wasn't comfortable, no way. And just growing up, I would do these different jobs. I would have these different roles where other people would say, hey, look, we want you to be the leader. We want you to be the supervisor, or whatever the case may be. I didn't want to do that, but they saw something in me. So I was already used to being uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
But I had to learn how to use that to work for my own benefit. And just over time, I just would talk to so many people, and they would always say this to me, man, I'm coming to you because you like a sound mind. You're so positive. And I was going through something in my last job, and that really sat on my mind, like, I am a positive person. And I just started to play on that. And I just started to, from that moment of me being like 35 years old today, but I was probably like 32 or something when that happened. I just looked back on my life, and I was like, you know what? I'm just a natural positive person. Why try to hide that?
Yeah.
Why not put that out? And that leads me to be happy, because I know I'm positive. I know I'm successful in my brain because I have a peace of mind. I wake up happy. It's going to take a lot to get me upset. I'm not a person. I can count the number of times I get angry. I just really don't get angry. You really have to do something to push my buttons. I'm never going to be the aggressor in a situation. That's just who I am. And I had to learn to get comfortable and say, you know what? That's me. I don't have to be the tough guy. I don't have to prove nothing to anybody because this is who the person I was. This is just who I am in my DNA. So I had to get comfortable with that fact, and that leads me to putting out good, positive content because this is me being me, my true, authentic self.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. We got somebody that found you here.
Hey, what's up, DJ? How are you?
All right.
All
All
right.
right. And I think that, if people see your stuff, your videos, I mean, your video yesterday, it was just cute as heck. With the kids at the end pitching in that lot. Oh, it was so good, man. It's
Yeah.
so good. But if people come back and they look at the positive uh, content you put out, just your videos and your offering of helping and the way that you do it, when I titled this "Leading with Humanity and Service," that's what I think about with you, because you're human first,
Yes.
and you help people, and that you come at everything you do, it seems like, with trying to help and trying to help. Even it's could maybe not even business, and lots of times I'm sure not even business, because I mean, you're out there, you're giving your cell phone out, you're saying text me, call me, and you know it just really resonates. I think a lot of people appreciate that.
Yeah, a lot of people do because the feedback. I know one time I had to take off like 2 months just off of social media, man. It was just too crazy. It was just overwhelming to know that you're making a difference. Wasn't people asking me for anything. They just wanted to, hey man, I see what you're doing. I just want to know if you're a real person. And I just would sit back like, wow, when you are true to yourself, you know where you're trying to get to, things tend to just work out in your favor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you're right. And I think this is the thing that's I've always, honestly, Jaris, I smile when I see your stuff, because what I see is I see you leading with humanity and service, and I know that you're helping all these people, and I know that it's coming around and helping you in the end, because you're dealing with it that way.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So
Yeah.
cool.
I tried to explain that to somebody else, and I just said, man, you just have to, you can just look at the content that I put out for 2 years straight, right? You can go back and you can actually see me growing because I'm actually helping other people grow. To me, that's the proof in the pudding.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are one of the things that you think has really helped you what's one of the things that's really helped you as you've gone along? I mean, because it's not an easy road, right? It takes, you got to be committed to it.
That's what helps me. I think the older I get, I practice working on different things, and I worked on patience for a long time in my life. And that helped me to just be comfortable with what's going on, because it is a journey, and things are not going to go your way. But if you get comfortable knowing that, hey, look, this is a journey, I'm trying to get to this destination. Might not know how I'm going to do it. I might have to stop a few places, but this is my direction, and I know that I'm going in this place because this is my reason for doing that. So I let that drive me. I just been blessed to understand my why. I know why I get up now. I know why I put out this content. I know why I'm a positive person, because to me, I know the world needs this from
Yeah.
somebody like me. I'm doing my part. And to me, that means the most.
Yeah. Man, I tell you, I sit here and I if people just read your content, watch the videos, do it, you can tell that you're following your passion, and I'm just really awestruck by it because of it. You really do, and a shining example for people. We got a couple more comments here, and this is one I think that, where are we at with people have to make sure a real person. It's sad that it's true, but there's a lot of people on social media that are fake. We were talking about this a little bit before we got on, you know, um, and that is kind of a sad thing that we are, but the good shines through in the people that are really good, I think, in that part of it.
Yeah, and I think, to me, I just appreciate balance. So if I run across somebody who is not who they say they are, that lets me know when I'm networking just to be cautious, because I mean, we know what kind of world we're living in, right? So you
Yeah.
just have to be cautious. And I think many times people don't want to do the proper research. We just want to click on the computer, we want to click on the television, we want somebody to magically be there, and we want to just believe everything they say. And it doesn't work like that. And
Yeah.
me putting out this kind of content, you'll be surprised. The number one phone call or text message I get is, I think you're not who you say you are, you know. And they ask me a question, well, what do you feel about this? And then when I get to talk to them, they're like, wow, man, I thought you was a scammer, you know, but now I see you're the real deal. So that I enjoy that process as well.
That, you know, because and DJ's on here again with a
Yeah.
great comment for you. So it's awesome. That's awesome. But it is kind of a sad state almost that that's one of your most common things. It says, you know, they're doubting, but then they see, you know, that's a good thing. They see over time. So when you look back on 2020, you know, a lot of people had a tough go of it in 2020. So, you know, how did it fare for you, and what are some of the things that you learned?
Well, I know at the end of 2019, you know, I was having 2020 visions. You could even look at the content. Things were going my way. I was having speaking engagements. And not just that, I was speaking at the places that I wanted to speak. My old college, other colleges. So I said, man, 2020 is going to be my year. And, you know, my business, I did with the public a lot, right? So
Yeah.
when the virus hit, man, it took me down for a while. You know, I was just out of it because I was like, what am I going to do now? I
Yeah.
can't even leave my house to talk to anybody. But what I appreciated was, for me, it allowed me time to myself to sit in and do what I was trying to encourage everybody to do. What I think COVID was meant for us in a weird way was to sit inside your home, get to know yourself. And that's what I did. I couldn't go nowhere. So I just started to take an even deeper look at myself of who I was, you know, some of the fears, some of the things that I had buried in my subconscious brain. You know, we tend to do
Yeah.
that sometimes, and hopefully it don't never pop up. I was going right to that stuff, digging it right on up. You know, you did
Yeah.
this, you need to go apologize to this person. And for me,
Yeah.
man, it allowed me to grow because I was in the home. I couldn't go nowhere, working from home. I
Yeah.
adapted very quickly. I learned how to do Zoom meetings. I learned how to set up a calendar
Yeah.
just based off of that. I met more people than I can even count just because we all stuck in home. We on social media. So it allowed me to grow and take a hard look at myself. I worked on my communication skills. I worked on a whole lot of different stuff. And to me, I saw the blessing in it in the long run. Now looking back, like, wow, being able to sit at home allowed me to get my team together, allowed me to get myself together. And that is what actually helped me to be able to organize my thoughts to put out this content because I didn't have nothing else to do. I couldn't go outside and talk to business owners.
Yeah.
I had to adapt. And I think, just like I said, just for me looking back, it really allowed me to grow.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I mean, and it's a great example too, I think, for a lot of people that, you know, while there was certainly enough bad about not being able to go, and of course the medical problems people have, but there it was an opportunity really to reflect because we weren't doing all that crazy stuff. We weren't running kids around. We weren't going, you know, this and that and traveling and blah blah blah. And all that time, they're either, you know, you either use it to your benefit, which I think, whoop, someone's at my front door. Sorry, I couldn't shut off the one thing I was going to, but you know, either you did that, or you just wasted away. And I think people like yourself, you took the time really to rethink where you're at and plan forward to go and do what you wanted to do in 2021.
Yeah, and it also showed me who was who. You know, it showed me where the people that really needed the help were coming from because everybody's at home now. Like you said, we're not ripping and running around, so everybody has an opinion, and it really gave me the opportunity to say, you know what, you need to step your game up because there are a lot of people who need this positiveness, they need this motivation, they need this encouragement.
Yep. Yep. I apologize, but what is this guy doing? Excuse me 1 second.
Take your
This
time.
has never happened to me. I'm sorry to everyone listening. I had something very important being dropped off, and I did not realize that it was something that I needed to sign for. So, but yeah. So when you look at that and you go, the time that people put in, and they really took the time to develop themselves. I think that is a huge benefit for people that took the time and did it, because you look at how you feel. How did you feel coming out of 2020 compared to going into 2020 as a person?
You said, how did I feel coming out of 2020, coming into 21?
Yeah, well, yeah, compared to when you were going 19 to 20. I'm talking about not business wise. I'm talking as a person.
Right.
When and you're coming.
I wasn't prepared.
What's
I
that?
wasn't prepared. I was not prepared. I thought I was, and don't get me wrong, I'm somebody who does well under pressure, but
Yeah.
I was not prepared. If I hadn't went through that, you would not be able to see this growth that I'm putting off towards on the camera today. It just wouldn't have been what it was. That actually allowed me to step my game up, allowed me to step other people's games up, because I was pushing myself. Other people were pushing me. So it didn't just help me directly. It helped a whole lot of people to really understand, like, you know what? Business ain't all that important. Let me spend more time with my family. Let me spend more time with my children, because they couldn't go to school. They were coming with me more. So I said, you know what? Hey, my business is in its third year now anyway. So it wasn't like I was making a whole lot of money. So just allowed me to say, focus on what's important. And that mindset is the mindset that I developed then, which I'm putting out now.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. And for myself too, and a lot of the people I know, the same thing happened. Took the time to really look at back of what is important and build on yourself, and get some of these things in order, for lack of a better term.
Yes, sir.
And like you, going into 2021, where we are at today, I feel myself personally, I'm a lot better prepared for this year than even if last year would have been good, I would have missed out on the opportunity to prepare my mind to be ready for the future.
Right. I feel the same exact way.
Cool. Because I would, the people that didn't do this, and there are plenty of people that decide to, they look at some of us like yourself or me, and they think, how could you ever say that 2020 was a good year?
Yeah.
And, like you just said, have more time with my kids. I figured out what was going on in my head and got some things fixed, and really got myself mentally prepared for my better future. And the people that didn't do that don't understand what you're talking about.
No. And that's why I was saying it allowed me to understand that I need to keep doing what I'm doing, because there's so many people that just don't know this stuff. And I learned a lot by just reading the comments, listening to others, because I didn't have time to listen to podcasts, listen to other people share their stories. So now I just became a listener. So I picked up on what society was feeling. So in my opinion, I'm a leader. I have to know how people feel about what's going on. So I just started listening more, taking in. I realized that people didn't know. So I was actually making content about, hey, why not take 2 days off? You're not working anyway. You're at home, and learn yourself. And I know a lot of people found benefit in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. I just see a comment. I'll pull it up here. It's a good one. Do you think humanity is getting a second chance, so to speak, because of 2020?
Yeah.
I do somewhat, because when you talk to people, I mean, think about last year, a couple things. How many people talk about kindness, humanity, serving others now compared to going into 2020?
Right.
It's like a tenfold, hundredfold. It's all over. And that's great, because we need more of that, obviously. And then when you look at things also that I know the pandemic sucked and all that and shutting the world down, basically, take a look at it from an environmental standpoint. I was thinking about this and just doing some rough calculations in my head, what that did to the world by just saying, okay, we're going to turn everything off or down by whatever it was, 50, 75%, the cars running and all the kind of stuff it did. It let the environment clean up. I mean, so how many years did that give us for?
Right. And I was reading somewhere, I don't want to misquote it somewhere, I don't know, the mountains or something. I just was reading briefly and said, they was able to see them because it won't so much pollution in the air. Just what I think they said, like 7 days time with everybody sitting at home. And I said, wow, if the earth knew how to sit down to correct itself, wow, of the universe, the world, wow, we have to do that. And just something I wanted to throw out there. I just thought about this. I'm glad to be a part of this whole wave of positivity and kindness, because I was talking to someone the other day. It's just creating balance. And I always try to see the good in any situation. So to me, I can see what's going on. This is going to be the new thing. This is going to be what's cool, what people are talking about, being positive and kind and looking out for the next person, respecting each other on a human being level. You can even see what's going on in our country. This is the direction we're going. Either we're going to be forced to do it or we're going to realize it on our own.
Yeah. Michael said it's the Himalayas in India.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
And that's amazing. It's amazing that happened. And it could have turned, because I was trying to in my mind gather the scope of what that really was. And when you think about the amount of cars and planes and trains and everything that was not moving because of this for quite a while, I just don't know how anything other than this could have created something like that on the earth.
Right.
Yeah. But it's interesting in that standpoint. And I'm 100% with you here, because you hear it now. We wouldn't have been talking about kindness and stuff like that if you and I were talking in 2020 and this hadn't happened.
Right.
So there is some positive that came out of here. And as DJ says, help people reflect and realize how much we need each other.
Yeah,
and
definitely did.
Yeah. But so when you looked at 2021, what do you think's coming up for you in 2021? What are some of the fun things that is happening?
Well, for one, we were talking on Clubhouse about this. I've been working on structure, adding, becoming more organized, learning to work with what I have. So far as I'm concerned, doing these podcasts, like you reached out to me, that meant a lot to me. I'm actually becoming closer, building a network with people who are like-minded. So to me, the opportunities are going to be endless for what I have going on, because people know me now. They've become acquainted with what I'm doing and know that I'm a real person. So to me, I'm just excited. I don't even want to think. 2020 just showed me, don't try to think too much. Just stay prepared. Continue to work on my structure and work on my growth, and the opportunities are just coming in. So when they come across my path, I'm just going to jump right on top of them.
Yeah, it is. It's preparing yourself to be ready for the future.
Yes, sir.
And and get an idea where you want to go. So that's great. So when you're on LinkedIn today, and say somebody is starting out on LinkedIn, what do you think are some of the basic fundamentals that they should be practicing? I mean, what if they're sitting here and they're like, oh, I've never really done much on LinkedIn before. What are some of the things that you would do if you were starting over again?
I would just put it out there just like you did. Hello, everybody. My name is Jaris Tucker. I've never really done this. I don't know what I'm doing. Can somebody help me? Because what I've been telling a lot of people on other social media platforms is the reason why I think LinkedIn is the best, because we really support each other. So if you're new to LinkedIn, just throw yourself out there. Put the business and the selling to the side. Type something up super great in your bio so people know exactly what you do. They know how to reach you. But figure out a way to add value. if you got a story or something you've been through, figure out a way to create content around that. Whether you're making videos, if you're making written content. I think for me, I've heard so many people tell me this. They like me because I'm authentic. They like me because I'm real. So just be yourself. And you can just put it out there. Look, I don't know what's going on, y'all. I'm new. I'm here. I like doing this. And you watch the support and the people that resonate with what you have going on. They're just going to pop out of nowhere. Like you and I, we was connected for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 2 weeks, we have been talking more than ever.
I know. It seems like between just on LinkedIn, but then on Clubhouse too, you know, being in a couple things on Clubhouse and really figuring that out, the communication just seems like it's getting easier. And these, like you said a little bit ago, the people that are really trying to or thinking about advancing themselves personally are kind of coming together in some ways.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see that. But yeah, I agree too. I think it is, and get past that being scared about it, you know, because
put yourself out there, because that's what. And I was telling somebody today, DJ, matter of fact, I don't know if she's still listening. Anxiety held me back for so many years. I mean, I can remember being a kid, missing on so many opportunities, and I just got tired of that because people would tell me, you know, you need to go live. You need to make video content. I knew I should have been making video content. I knew that. I knew that was going to be my way to add value, but I was scared. I mean, it was not, I did not want to do that. I didn't want to get on camera, not because I was scared of, I just had really bad anxiety. I've always been a good communicator. I've always been a good thinker. I know what I want to say and what I want to do, but I was just so scared. And I put one video out there, scared to death, shaking and nervous. I'm trying to look at the paper, reading it, but so many people supported me and would inbox me and say, man, look, you did a great job. How long have you been doing videos? I'm like, those are my first one. They say, man, I don't believe that. And those same people that watched my very first video, when they see my videos today, they say, man, we can see your growth. And to me, that's priceless.
Yeah. And that you are a shining light in how that works in a true person, really, because you do, and you can tell in the just like last year, somebody would have told me at this time last year that I was looking at it over the holidays. I was like, how many videos did we even do last year? And I didn't know. And between our lives like this and our other events, we did just about 100. And I'm like, I wasn't even on video before that, like you, never. And it was because of the same things. I was like, hell, I'm not even gonna. When I first did the videos, I didn't even watch them. Right. I'll look at 20. I never even looked at them. I didn't even want to look at them. Now I'll look at them a little bit. Still don't like them much, but I'll look at them. So but it is like you said. If you want to help people, you gotta share your message and who you are, and that's what it is. And like these lives that we have with you today, you're really good at sharing yourself, how you help people, and the positive message. And that's what's so great about these platforms being able to do this.
Yeah, because when it goes back to the first thing you were talking about, getting comfortable in my own skin. That's where that started out. I found out that if I just share my truth, I don't have to pretend to be this big time CEO. I don't have to pretend to be somebody that really has it going on.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned. I know my story. I know what I've been through. And if I could just learn to put it out there in a creative way, it's going to get engagement. And that's why I'm so successful, because my thing is, I can't speak on a topic that I don't know. You're going to be able to tell, oh, he's full of it. But I can talk about being positive and kindness and business and marketing, because that's who I am. And this is what I do.
Yeah. That's awesome. You're right. Because when you know something, you can just talk about it. It's not like you're preparing something. You're just talking about it.
Right.
And when it comes down to that, that's how I think people, for a long time, like you said, people are telling you need to do video, you need to do this kind of stuff. And And it's because people see that you authentically know what you're doing, not because you've prepared something and you can read it off of a page, but you authentically know because you're speaking about a topic and it comes out like water flowing in a river because you know what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah. So DJ said again that her first video, she was shaking from anxiety. I can still remember the first live that I had. I was just sweating, man. I was sweating. I changed my shirt. It was so bad I got done. It was like, God, this is horrible. I'm never going to want to do this again. And like you said, you were shaking. I mean, but you look cold as ice, man. It was just like on your videos all the time now.
Yeah, but it just comes with that. But when I can remember just looking at I had a little afro, and I was looking back like, man, come on, man. I just was scrolling up my timeline. I do that when I reflect, and I'm like, you put this video out there like that. Now I'm concerned, make sure I got a haircut on, make sure my background is right. But what I learned from that was people know when you're putting yourself out there. They can feel it. They felt it on me. And that's what my support came from, because they said, this is somebody that's trying. So I tell anybody, throw it out there. You're going to get a good laugh like we just shared. So at least set yourself up for a year later to get a good laugh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. It's so funny, but it's good. It's like you said, and that's why being real with people is how you build these relationships, right?
Yes, sir.
I never thought that you could use LinkedIn to build the relationships like you can.
Me neither.
And
I'm just now finding out, like, man, the world is just so real. And when I first got on there was so many people. Nick Dorsey did a post today. It was like, you can't do this, don't do that on LinkedIn. I'm trying to fit in every little box because I want to be perfect. But then I started looking around like, I'm not a person that fits in a box. That's just not me. And I was making content for a while, and I wouldn't get no likes, no engagement, because I was just talking about real one-on-one consulting. That's it. I won't focus on giving, sharing, or nothing. Hey, I need some clients for my business, right? And I had made a post like, man, I'm having a bad day. Nobody's responding to me. I can't. What's going on? And that one post, I'm talking about it went up. That's when you could trend very easily on them. And that post trend, and I said, okay, I got it now. I won't say nothing else about real one-on-one.
Yeah, well, and that's what you always see, because you got to get them like everybody does. These people that come out, they want to connect with you, and you look at them, it's like, oh yeah, that'd be all right. And then next thing you know, there's a message, hey, would you like to buy this? Because it's really good. It helps everybody. And it's like, did you realize that you're selling something that, I there's no way in hell I would use because it's my profile.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I share something which I was guilty of that. So what I'm noticing now, you got the happy birthday and somebody, congratulate them on their role. So I would say, send a happy birthday message. And then I would notice when I would send that message, the prior message I had maybe sent like 8 months ago was still there, where I'm just spamming DMs and nobody. And I said, wow, man, you trying to sell your book. No wonder nobody won't respond. So now when I had to apologize, look, I didn't know any better when I first sent that message off. Yeah. Forgive me. Can you talk to me now?
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. And it seems like some people did. Well, obviously there's people that haven't got that message yet or not hit them. But, on the other end of it, though, I do think about the other end. You don't know what position somebody's in and what what situation they're in, really. Because, maybe they just, that's what they have to do. Yeah. And I don't get angry about it anymore. I don't like it, but I don't get angry about it anymore because again, as you kind of working on yourself personally, you kind of put yourself in their shoes a little bit and go, oh, it's no skin off my back. It really doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. So what are you looking forward to in 2021 the most?
I'm looking forward to actually showing people my perspective on life, as far as networking, as far as building relationships, as far as interacting as human beings, because a lot of people I've realized they just don't know. Not making excuses for them, but a lot of people, you think we all have our own different upbringings, the way we were raised, our own different experiences that force us to act and think a certain way. So I'm just somebody here to serve as a reminder that, hey, look, man, we can do everything you want to do. You can make money while adding value, while raising your kids, while showing growth, while enjoying your process, while being happy. And I'm just here to say, look, I know it can be done. To look at my life. So this year, I'm just going to show by example. I'm not going to complain anymore of, why so much hate going on. If you don't want to see hate, then you put out more love in the world. And that's just where I'm at with it.
That's 100%, man. I gotta be. I'm right there alongside you, with you, behind you, beside you, whatever on that. Because you turn that television on, it's gonna drag you down.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna drag you down. And if you and I've thought about this a lot, and it's funny you said that. I said there's a lot of things we can't control in our life, and that's all the other junk around us. The only thing that we can do is rise above the crap. Yeah. And be a positive light. That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, because in your heart what's right. That's the only thing we can do. And if others choose to embrace that, great. If they don't, you still are positive there for the people that will.
Yeah. And I'm learning now. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist or nothing, but I guess I've just been watching and studying people for so long. And I was trying to get people on this wave of positiveness, and it just wasn't working because I was just literally being too hard on certain people, right? But now that I learned, now that I let my grip up, I planted in their subconscious now. So I'm seeing them being able to grow in their own time, because think as being a human being, just because I got it doesn't mean that you have to get it the way I get it. It may take you 3 or 4 years to get it. I'm just glad and blessed that I do understand. So if I continue to shine my light, I know other people will find encouragement to shine theirs as well.
Yeah. Well, and if you, like you said before, if you can help somebody, just one person, it's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah. So, we got Chris Webb on here, a guy I know up north of me here. He's so close to Canada, he should be Canadian almost.
Okay, what's up, Chris?
Out there, but good guy. And DJ's got another one. Good. I know that's a great. See, she got your saying down. That's awesome though, because it's true. It's true. And something we need to practice. So going into 2021, this Clubhouse app started up, and we were talking about that a little bit. So what are your thoughts around that, and how that's going to kind of change the way that people communicate a little bit?
It's actually helping us learn how to communicate now, because you can't type up anything now. I can't just send you a DM. I'll have to hear your voice. And I'm thinking it's helping us to pay closer attention to each other. And I've been in a lot of rooms on there. A lot of people are doing their thing with it. I don't have anything bad to say, because I look at it like that's not my thing. I'm not going to go in that room. I'm going to go to a room where I can add value. So to me, it's going to actually open up so many doors that were not available for one, because I've done a lot of meeting people, having Zoom meetings from Instagram. I would have never thought that I would meet and have meetings and do business from having an Instagram account. It just wasn't on my brain. I was on Facebook, LinkedIn. Now I'm like, wow, my Instagram is really picking up numbers. So to me, I love it. I like how people are brainstorming. It's forcing us to be able to speak. Somebody said that, what's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
Somebody say that communication was a new currency. And I think that's true.
Yeah. And I hadn't thought about what you just said. And it makes so much sense, because, it is true. You've got to listen to people and then think about it. It is a lot different than just writing back and forth, isn't it? Because you can, you get a message, I can take my time and do whatever, but when you're on there and someone speaks towards you, you got to be listening so that you can respond appropriately like that.
Yeah, it has to be you, because a lot of us have assistants and team members that can respond to that email. You can't do that because I'm going to know that's not you, Damon. Who is that talking? So I'm really anticipating to see where they're going to do with it. I just hope they don't. I like how you cannot send out DMs. I just hope they don't change that. I mean, I don't. I know they probably don't want to drive people to Instagram and Twitter unless they have some type of its benefits Clubhouse. I'm not sure, and I know they don't want to keep doing that if it's not going to benefit them. But to me, that's what I like about it, because you have to do your research. You have to get off this, communicate on this platform, go on another platform. So if somebody takes the time to send me a DM on Instagram that I met on Clubhouse or on LinkedIn, to me, what I've seen lately is those relationships are becoming stronger because they're taking the time to get to know me and do the legwork, versus me just clicking on your picture on LinkedIn, spamming you a bunch of stuff. You have to actually know who you're talking to.
Yeah. That's true, because as DJ brought up, crossing multiple platforms, when you do that, it is more work, and it's not if they're going to make that effort, they at least want to explore that relationship a little bit more, or are going to put the work in to see if it's worthwhile. Yeah. So when you as far as speaking goes this year, are you thinking that you're going to be able to be back live with anybody, or are you betting that it's not going to happen?
I'm always, I'm a positive person. I've done a few speaking engagements with the community. We wear our masks and everybody practice social distancing. But I will say this: I was on a Zoom meeting with, it was about 50 of us. Now, I didn't notice at the time. All I could see was like the 9 people on my screen. So I'm just talking, doing what I do normally. And somebody else shared the posts on LinkedIn with everybody. And I was just like, wow, I had no idea. I was talking to like 50 people. So to me, if we can do it on a computer, if I can do it face to face, it doesn't matter. I just enjoy communicating. But I am betting that things will clear up.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that, and it's going to be different in different parts, of course. But I honestly think this is changing business forever.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's switched to a different way, and I've been researching some other platforms. We use Remo for some of our events, and it works pretty good. And I think there's some others that are coming up that are pretty cool as well. That I see there's going to be this hybrid thing, because the one thing that we talked about early on is the time that people are spending traveling. Mm-hmm. That when you think of going to see a speaker or going to a conference and you go, okay, do I want to take the time to fly, a day each way to go to a conference to listen to my speaker, or do I want to pay the same money and stay in my office, get on and watch the speaker, maybe interact with the speaker with questions and answer sessions better than I could in a crowd of 1,000 after the event, and save all that time?
Yeah,
I don't know, but I there sure is opening some interesting possibilities for that, I think.
Yeah, you're right, because even me, just like you say, just talking on Clubhouse, I can read through the notes. I can be on my phone and I'm looking at your profile while you're talking, and I'm picking out questions. So yeah, I mean, I think you got a good point.
Yeah, because just a lot of stuff. I mean, down to the Chamber of Commerce meeting, right?
Yeah.
The Wednesday Breakfast Chamber of Commerce. If they would broadcast that thing on Zoom, and sure, I can't see everybody in the room, or maybe you set it up right so you can, and just highlight people as they do their introductions or whatever. These things can change a lot. So now that I don't have the 50 people or whatever that show up to it, or 20 or whatever the number is, I can have hundreds, because these people are joining virtually as well. And I think they're going to get better engagement overall from these things by providing it both ways.
Yeah, because you got to think, some people have gotten used to getting up the way they are, not having to fix their hair and their makeup, and just being able to turn their phone on now. So yeah, I mean, you make a good point.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that part
Yeah,
of how we come out of this thing because it could be fun, and I know there's some people that have really done a lot of work in the last year for hosting virtual events and as a business. Hell, we don't do it as a business; we just mess around with it. But um, I think that could be a nice way to get better overall participation in these kind of things.
And I got my team. That's what we're working on now. I was just telling them, I don't care about trying to get booked, to go somewhere. Let's figure out a way to do it on the internet. But this is where everybody is. You got to think now. Everybody, whether you're on this platform, whether you're on that platform, we are
Yeah,
on the internet. I was talking to my mama. She's even doing her lives on Facebook Live on the internet. And who would have thought that?
your mom is.
Yeah, she's got this little she sells jewelry through
Yeah,
another third party where they're doing it now. And I'm just so cool. Like, mom, like she's not a tech savvy person. She don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
nothing too much about it. But to see my mother going live, I'm like, oh yeah, things are changing very fast.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny you said that because my wife is gonna she's gonna start doing stuff on Facebook too. Hers is not nearly as constructive as that, but she'll have fun with it.
Okay.
But it is cool to see people embracing it. My parents are well, my father's over 80 now, and to see them having to embrace it, like having Christmas for us this year, we had Zoom going, and we had all of our families, which we hadn't done that. All of our I've got three brothers and a sister, so I got not a 9-person family, but we got enough kids, and we've never gotten together like that before, where we're all on Zoom, and you set it up, and it's like everybody you're talking to them. Hell, some of my nephews I haven't seen for a couple of years, and it was nice to do that.
Right. Yeah.
Nice to use that kind of stuff. So brought us together a little bit, but well, Jaris, man, it's great to get to talk to you, and I still giggle because we're laughing about the video stuff. It's so much fun, and learning from you is great. So, tell me about what you're doing for your business now. We don't talk anything about business. Let's just talk about your business a little bit and how you're helping people there.
Business wise, I'm helping people in so many ways, man. It's just like I said, I'm so blessed because I find out more and more and more every day that we will never even know how many people that we're actually helping. I run into people just in the streets. Hey, man, I seen you on Facebook. I seen you on Instagram. I'm like, wow. Somebody just chased me down and was like, hey, don't stop doing what you're doing on the internet. I see you. And I'm just like,
Oh,
so
that's so cool.
business for me, I do marketing, and I just know that developing your brand is very important. That's why I work on myself. So to me, I'm going to continue to work on myself to make sure I'm high level to be able to do just about whatever I can do as far as marketing goes for other individuals. As far as helping people, I've learned this. The more I continue to work on myself, sharpening my skills, continue to grow, facing my fears, other people inside of my circle, outside of my circle, I heard people all the time say, man, because you are going in this direction, you're helping me. Or I see you doing podcasts. Now I just started my own podcast. I mean, I can tell you every day or every other day, somebody's going to reach out to me and say, hey, because you are doing this, I'm doing that. So business, I'm trying to keep everything quiet because I have my own I got this own, it's just a method to my madness, right? But the
Yeah,
way I'm going, I feel like if I continue to keep adding this value, continue to be who I am and not change it up, and I feel like, man, uh, I've already got huge opportunities. And I just want to thank you for this. To me, this was a pleasure and an honor just being on your stage. But I just know, man, the stages are going to get bigger as I continue to get bigger, as I continue to give. Things are just going to come big, and I'm not even going to jinx myself like we did last year. I'm just going to stay prepared because this year is going to be a year of opportunity for everybody that was prepared for them and that's willing to just be patient enough to notice the opportunities when they come across your path.
That's great, man. And I think you're right on the mark there. With you prepared yourself, you're ready to go. You see the big opportunities. You don't know what they're going to be, but you're preparing yourself so you're ready for them.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be huge. They're gonna be huge because I know, to me, huge means not just making $1 million for this, but huge means changing the world. I've already done that. I'm already doing my part because somebody else did their part, right? So I know I've already made an impact. I've already know I'm winning. I already know I'm successful just because we are able to have this chat amongst each other, pushing out positivity in the world. That
Yeah.
it has to come back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting fired up just listening to you, dude. That's good. And I think the fact that you've got people stopping you on the street, I think that's just incredible, because that it would be such a driver just to go, man, I'm going to go twice as hard tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going to keep it going. We got Chris Rangel and Chris Webb are dropping some great comments in here. They're getting good stuff and giving us some good encouragement, and I love it, and thank you so much for doing it, and the people watching. And man, it is so great to get to talk to you, and just I'm really inspired, man. I am, when I see your stuff, and I'm just blessed to be able to meet you and learn from you, man. It's an honor.
It's an honor the same way. Here you got to think, Damon, I watch you and so many other people. It's like, now we're talking. I would have never thought, like, I didn't think like you were like too hard to get in contact with, but I just watch you grow on LinkedIn the way I was trying to grow. I watch you do everything. And then a lot of other people. Now, those people that I was watching like you, now we're talking more and more every single day. Like, you've been going strong almost 2 weeks now.
I know.
We didn't plan it out. It just happened like that.
It just happens. Because like you said, when you put it out there, you attract the right things.
Yes.
And it's so good. Well, thanks a lot for being here today, Jaris. I know it's evening time, and I could go a long time, but we're gonna wrap it up. But man, it's a good laughs, good stuff. You dropped some good bombs in there with that. I'm glad DJ got it back in the comments, because we'll definitely share that again. But thanks so much for being here, man.
Thank you, man. I just thank you just for noticing me and just for being a cool guy, man. So you run into so many people just like, I don't have time for that. So thank you, Damon.
Oh, I'm just glad we were able to connect up and do this, man. Yeah. Everyone listening, if you haven't followed Jaris, follow him. Reach out if you need the help. A good dude. And thanks so much. We'll be back again on Thursday.